Alright, hey guys, I have got a pretty awesome video for you guys today. I think what happens was my faction went into TW, won TW in 16 minutes, came out at Silver Pool as a faction and saw another faction, the best faction on the server, PKing, and then we said, let's go kill them, because we were all in one vent channel. So yeah, we got out here and we started PKing, and we managed to wipe them even after they called their reinforcements. And then my faction director was like, you better be recording this. And so I turned it on. I missed some good epic footage, but I think there's still some awesome stuff happening here. Yeah, I mean, basically, we just got out there with a ton of people and we started destroying everything. And as you can see, we forced them off to this side. Like, they were coming straight out and they realized it wasn't possible, so they all came out to this left side over here. And, yeah, this is not a PK server, but just for this one night, our two factions kind of made it look that way. And it was some pretty epic stuff, but, I don't really know what to say because, I mean, it was just so chaotic and it was so laggy. I apologize for the lag, guys, but, as you can see, I mean, I am lagging pretty bad, but they didn't have a person on me like they usually do. Like, they love to just put somebody to mark dangerous DDs. The problem was, since we had just come out of TW, we had our Euro players who wake up at crazy hours of the night with us, and we just had so many people, like, they couldn't decide who they needed to kill, apparently. So, I mean, as you can see, we've got, like, a ton of archers, and, we've got myself, there's, like, 3 psychics in this squad who are out here PKing because one's AFK, and we're like free nuking. And I'm still fully buffed. Like, I have my base buff still from TW. Like, I didn't die in TW, so I came out with those, and then they never purged me. So yeah, when you are in a situation like this, well, I mean, staying fully buffed is essential, because when I'm fully buffed, when they're filtering out their Blade Masters, their Barbs, and their Seekers, which they have a lot of, I can, like, ignore them. Like, literally, their DD is nothing. The only DD I have to watch out for is if I get HF'd or if a Barb tries to armor me. But, I mean, even the Barb armors, they're so slow and you see them coming, like, it's just not a big deal. So, I mean, you can pretty much completely ignore those. And then, like, the weaker DDs, you can ignore them too. The only thing as a psychic, if you're fully buffed out in a situation like this, that you have to watch out for is wizards and, I think, archers. Like, other than that, I mean, you have to watch out for sins if they're, like, the full rank 9 ones that are gonna goth crit you. But I think they only had 1 out here tonight, and it really wasn't that big an issue. So, if you're in a situation like this, basically, PK is all about Genie, which is really stupid. Like, literally, your Genie makes the difference in how you can function. And I use a Genie that's kind of all-purpose. I have Cloud Erupt, I have Expel for Physical Immune, I have AD for Save Myself, I got Fortify for the anti-stun, of course, I have Extreme Poison, and I have Holy Pass so that when I need to I can just run the heck away from a fight. If you're a psychic and you're in massive PK like this, a Genie like my own is cool because since I'm free so much of the time, I can afford to abuse my Cloud Erupt and Chi skills. Now, I wasn't, because I just didn't know what to do with my Chi, because every target I targeted was, like, already dead. As you can see there, a psychic just sparked and hit me for 1.9k sparked. That is beautiful damage. Anyways, like I was saying, since I'm free so much of the time, like, I could Sage Spark here, but I found that, if you Sage Spark, then, like, everybody on the enemy faction goes, run away, or stun him, and that just draws too much attention to yourself. So, pretty much, I was abusing my Earth Vector. Like, I used it to stop anytime I saw somebody who's problematic. I used it to stop them kiting. That's where I used some of my Chi, and then I Psychic Willed out of every HF that came down on me, because it purifies it, so I don't have to worry about the magic DDs capitalizing on that. And then the other thing I was doing was when a DD wasn't dying, I would just Tide Spirit and make them die. But other than that, you'll notice I have 3 sparks for almost the entire video. So, I mean, I probably should have let my 100 skill Stone Smasher and Red Tide off a lot more, but, I mean, it was just, we had so much DD out there, like, I don't know how many archers we've got out there, but we've got a ton. And I mean, you know, my squad is full of DDs. We've got one rank 9 archer, you know, all the psychics, and then 2 sins, 1 APS, 1 full rank 9. And we've got a, you know, our full demon Vino out here. So I mean, chaos. But anyways, sorry, I'm getting really distracted. I just woke up. Anyways, the genie in PK, when you're using this genie build, you know, it's kind of all purpose. I've got something to amp my damage. I've got a ton of stuff to keep me alive. I've got Holy Path to run or stalk, you know, archers who try to run from me, and then I've got Cloud Erupt to keep me cheat up. It's a very all-purpose thing. If you are in a situation where you are a high priority target that's getting ganked and you've got high survivability gear, another option is to get the Belief Genie, Belief/Faith. It's one of the advanced skills, and at level 10 it does have a very high energy requirement, but it purifies everything in the game except for Seal of the God, if I remember right. Like, it even purifies Soulburn, and I'm not gonna, like, that really bugs me because, like, nothing purifies Soulburn, but that does. And not only does it purify you, it makes you immune to everything that it can purify for 5 seconds. So, like, you know, a lot of times what leads to my death is I'm gonna get a Blade Master who runs in and roars me, and then a Sin is going to join him on attacking me, and an Archer is going to join him on attacking me, and the Sin or the Archer is going to do Movement Seal, whether it be the Tackling Slash or the Archer one, right? And so then I can't kite them, even if I expel, because they can still hit me with, you know, Movement Seals and stuns through the physical immune. So basically, you know, I'll get stunned, and then I'll get ganked, and then as they gank to keep me from kiting, they are just going to throw down Occult Ice and all that stuff. So I mean, bottom line is, it's just I get so much stun, and even if I get my physical immunes in, they just keep me there with the stuns that go through it, so I can't do anything. So Belief, you know, if I throw that down, it'll remove anything that's keeping me from kiting, and for 5 seconds they can't keep me there. So what you can do is you just Belief and then Psychic Will, and then you fly as fast as you can away, or you drop out of the air, or you can't Holy Path because the Genie Affinity is the way it works. It's a no-go. You don't have enough energy right after you Belief. But I mean, if you just get some distance and then let your Genie recharge to the point where you can get a Holy Path, then you can get out of situations like that. Now, since I'm not on the Belief Genie, anytime I feel like I'm about to die, I'll throw down my AD. Basically, it's anytime I saw my Charm Tech and then my HP reach half again, I would be like, oh no, oh no, oh no, and I AD'd, and I would AD into Iron Guards a lot, because when you do that, you know, people see an Iron Guard and they're like, oh, we can't kill him 12 seconds, and they kind of leave you alone, and then you can just go straight back to free nuking and be on the outside of the fight and letting your AD cool down. And so, you know, really, if you're getting attacked a lot, you know, drop your AD and drop your APOTH and just, you know, kind of reset the fight, if that makes any sense. If you're using the Belief Genie, it's got a 1-minute cooldown, so it's not too bad, and you just have to watch out for it, you know? But the nice thing is, when you hit Belief, get clear, because you have that 5 seconds of immunity to everything. So, I mean, just get clear. That's my advice. And I mean, as you can see here, I saw damage coming for me, and I got out of there. I Holy Pathed. So yeah, I mean, the reason I'm not using my Fortify much in this fight is simply because there's so much lag. Like, the chance of me actually succeeding on fortifying is, I don't know, 0%. So I'm not using it that much, but yeah, if you're gonna use your Genie, that's my advice. So anyways, there I died. It looks like a Psychic and an Archer got me. But yeah, I was targeting a Vino. You gotta keep your enemy Vinos dead. If the Vinos aren't dead, your team will lose. And especially when there's this many people out there, the Sage, you know, AoE purge, it can be devastating. You know, you have to be very careful of that. So let's see. I talked about using my Genie and using my Chi, or lack thereof. Physical defense charms and magic defense charms are essential. You are a Psychic, you have, you know, if you're full rank 9, maybe 16k magic defense. That does not mean you can tank wizards. Like, come on, don't be stupid. You can't tank wizards, and you have to have those MDef charms up, because if wizards spark, or if Psychics spark, you have to do something to deal with that damage. So Yeah, be careful. As you can see here, my HP got low, and I was considering throwing down the AD, but then I checked my damage log, and I was like, there's really only one guy attacking me, and even though he's full buffed, I'm just gonna kill him and move on. So, yeah, that was that. Uh, oh yeah, in situations like this, like our entire faction had just come out of TW, and we had just gotten into one vent channel together, so I mean, there was like, 4 people would all call the same target, and we would just destroy them. But the assist attack, like, you don't see me doing it that much, but that's because I was just hunting specific players to keep them from causing us problems. But when it gets to the part where both sides of the team are filtering, right? You see, this guy here is a full rank 9 archer, full jades, full plus 12. Like, he can still be killed really easily. You just have to make sure you don't let him get buffed. So, I mean, if you see those people filtering, as a psychic, like, I'm sorry, this might sound bad, but like psychics cannot out DD wizards when it comes to spiking. Like, wizards just have harder hitting skills. But when enemies are unbuffed or purged, psychics go from, non-wizard damage to like crazy mad hacks damage because we've just got so many attack levels. So when people are filtering out unbuffed, that's when your psychic can really start doing work. Like, if you just Tide Spirit, you can tab kill anybody coming out of the safe zone pretty much, except for like full Jade BMs and stuff. So I mean, it's kind of good just to try and be the anti-filter, as it were, and cut down everything you see that's unbuffed. And that's why I hit this archer, because I was like, he's unbuffed, and I almost got him if it weren't for the psychic who was trying to destroy me. And as you can see there, I went for the Iron Guard, and since I knew that psychic was still on me, I can see him in my damage log, I went through the Iron Guard, and this is the part where I was like, why is my charm not ticking? Why is my charm not ticking? And it took me a little time to realize that I had no charm on because it had just died. So yeah, anyways, I managed to survive the psychic attacking me without the charm on because of that AD into Iron Guard, and then right after I put my charm on, the Vino in my squad was like, is your charm dead? I was like, yeah, my bad. But anyways, I mean, I really don't know what to say. Coordination and targeting the right targets. I mean, we had 2 full rank 9 Vinos out, 2 full rank 9 Sins out here, and so I mean, they're doing work. We've got Blade Masters just tearing it up. I mean, as you can see, a ton of the targets are just getting HF'd over and over, and we've got, maybe 5 or 6 rank 9 archers out here too, so I mean, it was just, we did good work, I'd say. So yeah, I covered genies and skills. Oh yeah, when you see your buffs run out, rebuff. That was my first death, is when my psychic buffs ran out. I was really depressed about that. So, definitely get, like, as you can see, I walked clear away from everything, and I was just like, give me my buffs back, give me my buffs back. So yeah, other comments. I guess, I mean, of course, the squad menu, I'm not using it much anymore because they're filtering so slowly, but, like, at the beginning of the fight, I was, like, switching the classes and stuff. Like, you have to kill the right people at the right time. So, like, targeting Vinos, and as you can see here, when I tabbed to the target that was a cleric, I was like, in vent, I immediately said, hey guys, there's a cleric in the air above us, let's kill that. And it only took a matter of seconds for our faction to get on top of it. So, you just have to prioritize the right targets and keep yourself alive. Now, I died 3 or 4 times in this whole fight, and instead of filtering out on a psychic is probably the worst thing you can do. You have to get rebuffed, because as a psychic in Black Voodoo, you're down on attack levels. Like, you just don't have anything to defend except APOF, and your APOF has a 2-minute cooldown, and once you used your AD, that's cooled down. So I mean, you really gotta get buffed. If you're in group PK, like, make sure your squad knows that you need buffs and you need them bad. Like, you gotta stay fully buffed as a psychic, because fully buffed as a psychic, you go from being a really squishy DD to a really not so squishy DD, and, a very problematic player, because, if people try to hit me, they're gonna get silenced, and I'm throwing out AoEs, I'm keeping people from running with Glacial. I mean, there's just, so much you can do as long as you can stay alive. But if you're unbuffed and you just go out in Black Voodoo to try and side DD, you're gonna get wiped if somebody finds you. So, you know, get fully buffed. Other things I could say is my comments on the new Mirai skills. Okay, the psychic one, the 89 or the level 81, it's pretty fail. Like costing 3 sparks, like it's really like useless because even at my soul force, it only lasts like 3.5 seconds. Like I don't know, that soul force changing the time, I think it's a lie. If you look on my skill bars right above my helmet, there's the shroud skill. And it's kind of cool. Basically, it'll stun your target. I mean, it'll stun yourself or an ally, but it will make them completely immune to damage. It's an iron guard. It lasts 10 seconds, basically. But the only setback is the stun is not blockable. You can't like fortify into it and then like have immune to damage. Like it is an ultimate stun. You can't block it. Not even with belief, if I recall correctly. So it's very situational. You can't use it in TW on your kata barbs because it'll stop the kata. It does say that in the description. But it is a pretty short channel. It only costs 2 sparks, and if you really want to save somebody from dying, like, it'll work. I did see some people testing out the Corona skill, which is the one that like makes all the stuff incoming to a target transferred to the psychic, and that seems to work pretty well. Like, I mean, you know, if they, you know, HF and stun a target instead of the target, it all gets transferred to the psychic. So, I mean, if your psychic can take a beating, which, I mean, fully buffed, most psychics endgame gear can, you know, that skill can really do work. Like, if, you know, I see a cleric who's about to get destroyed, I can throw that skill on them and then protect them and stuff like that. As far as PK goes, though, guys, be aware of the Blade Masters who got real. Like, it's disgusting what you can do with that skill. Like, you know, you just barely come out of the safe zone and you think you're gonna go nuke a whole bunch of people and then run back to the safe zone, and then you start to channel a skill and suddenly you get pulled 30 meters out of the safe zone, or so. Actually, it's a 25 meter range, I think. But anyways, like, it's a really great PK skill. It makes the BM's ability to do stuff, like, it goes way up. The BM telestun skill is just an epic fail. It didn't seem to do much good to me. But that reel-in skill, definitely. If you're a Blade Master, you gotta get it. The Metal Mage mode on clerics, I don't know. Like, it's really only good if you're in massive group PK or TW and they're stacking it and, you know, they're not getting attacked. But I mean, the fact that you're taking away all their heals really makes them just kind of a squishy nub. I don't know. Metal Mage mode is meh, in my opinion. That's my official opinion. You can quote me on that, but don't trust me because, you know, my main is not a cleric. My cleric is not 100 yet. Let's see, other classes, the Sin skills, the group stealth skill apparently works when you're in PK, you know, so you can force stealth, which, I mean, if you get AoE'd, I guess that's not going to do you much good, but it definitely does have, like, a save factor, you know. You can go in, group stealth your cleric just to get them out of a bad situation, or, I mean, if you're wanting to rush an enemy group who's out of the safe zone, you know, you can force group stealth and then have everybody sprint over stealth so that you kind of like appear out of nowhere. So the group stealth definitely has some applications, even though it is only 5 seconds. The wizard skill. There is the wizard skill that makes you bounce away when you get hit by certain physical attacks. That one apparently is problematic. I heard some Blade Masters raging over the fact that the wizard kept bouncing away from them. So, that skill is good, but at the same time, the Ice Prism skill that wizards get, it is a movable Zen. That one is awesome. And anyways, this is the end of the video, so I'm going to stop rambling now, but I hope you guys enjoyed it.